Igbo Igbo.
Igbo Igbo. Aha m Udal Uzu. Amonye Ngwa. My CV is very small. I'm Amonye Nkuzi before. And my cousin in university. Rọrụ n'obodo oyibo lọtakwa na ala Nigeria. Ihe m na-eje eri nri wụ urban housing. Probably some people in Lagos, one estate in Lagos, Crown Estate, Aro maybe 93. I have some in Abuja here, one in Durumi, another one in Mabushi. What Choke said is the truth. But my own this would have now one opportunity as Ndibo. Our strength in our government. If you look at the economy of the governments of the Southeast, you look at the budgets and the things they spend, it's not going to make a lot of difference to our life. For about 3 years now, and the disciple, Dr. Pascal Dozier, Ojisian, Professor Bat Naji, Chidi Onya, Bernard Obika, Dr. Charles Okoye, non US. Anyebido, we started the journey to industrialize Alaigbo. Not just industrialize Alaigbo. You have a problem, and how we can start tackling that problem. At the stage we are now, in fact, before end of next year, we will start. I will tell you what we are doing. And I will say this on the side that even as a nation, we have opportunity in 2 areas to industrialize Nigeria. We have comparative advantage, and we have opportunity in agriculture. Oil is not our advantage. In fact, the economy of oil has ended. It has ended. It's just maybe in the next 10 years, it's not going to be important again. And the COVID has shown something. I was talking to the World Bank on the project. After this, we had a meeting. They said, how has the COVID affected what we are doing? I said that it has made it obvious because the Western world is going to have beef with China for a very long time. So there will be democratization of supply chain. That is obvious. It's not going to come from China completely anymore. And 2, China has lost comparative advantage because it has become a middle-income country. You know, it is only in Nigeria today that you can pay a STEM graduate. I'm talking about science, technology, engineering graduates, $200. There's no place in the world you can do that. So, and not only that we have the cheap labor, we have all that, we have raw materials. There's everything you manufacture in the world comes from 2 sources. It comes from naturally occurring things, 1, and it comes from agriculture. We have very arable rich land, and we have mineral map of this country. We have no reason to be a poor country. So this is what we're doing. Can I share the screen, please? I will just run through it very quickly. Enyimba economic city. Can you see the screen?
I think, yes, you should be able to.
Yes, we can see the screen. It's very clear.
Okay. Enyimba economic city. We said it's going to be a global business hub in the Southeast, and it's a free trade zone. Let me show you the mission. This is what we want to do. No, the mission, please. This is the mission. We want to create an economic hub that will be central to the 9 southeast and south-south states. And we will link them with high-grade roads, rail, airport, and seaport that will transform the region into a manufacturing and industrial powerhouse. And we'll have auxiliary drivers of commerce, logistics, entertainment, education, health, lifestyle living, and aviation. That's the mission of this, and go back to the location. Let me show you the location. I'm going to use a red arrow to just move around. If you look at here on your left of your screen, that is Owaza. Owaza is the gas capital of the Southeast, really. I mean, all the gas capture, Shell, Mobil, and all that, they capture. All the red lines, dotted red lines you see here are active gas pipelines. Now, this narrow dark line is the rail from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri. They call it the Eastern Narrow Gauge Line. That is important. Now, the thick line is the Enugu-Port Harcourt highway. And that highway goes to the north, really. It cuts Nigeria from the south to the east. Now, the blue lines around it is water, the Imo River, and that Imo River comes and joins the Azumini Blue River and come back to Aba. Now, look at this, all the dotted this thing is the Enyimba economic city. It's 9,464 hectares of land, and it spans 3 local governments, Okwa East, Okwa West, and Ugunabo. Now, I want you to see this location in context. If Ega up to the north of this, you have Enugu, and you have Ebonyi to the right? Then Ilota down, you have rivers, and to the left, you have Bayelsa, right? So the city itself is in Abia. So this A3, that's Enugu-Port Harcourt Road, has connected 5 states of the south-south-southeast. 2 in south-south-south and 3 in southeast. Now, if you come to the right side of this screen, that's Akwa Ibom. And if you go right, to the right of that, that's Cross River. Now, if you come to the left of this screen, just go left, up, that's Anambra. If you come down, that's Imo. So all you have to do is to build the road from Akwa Ibom, right? Follow the arrow that will cross the A3 and join Imo. Once you do that, what you have done is that you have connected these 9 states of south-south-southeast, and the captive population is 60 million, 58 point something million, and that's a census of 4 years, don't know how many years ago. It will be up to 60 million captive population now. You have connected that into this location, and it's maximum of 90 minutes driving distance. So this is what we're trying to do here now. No, gone. Yeah. So this is what we're trying to do. 1, we want to build a center that will connect these 9 states into that 90 minutes driving distance. And we want to connect this place to the national market. That is, we have connected the whole of south-south-southeast, and we'll connect it to Nigeria. And we're going to connect it to cross-border, West Africa. That's 1. And this place will be a manufacturing floor for Nigeria. Forget Lagos. You know, what we are doing when we finish, because there are things that are important that will make that happen, and you will see. I will talk about some part of it. And this place is not just going to be that manufacturing floor alone. It is going to have other things that will make it work, and those are solid studies that were done by the best in the world to find out those things that we'll do there. So, like I've said, we'll integrate this place to national market. We integrate it to regional markets and global markets. This place will have its own municipal administration, because that's very important and is part of the problem of Nigeria as a business place. You know, the customs are not efficient, this is not efficient and all. So if you have administrative structure that is different, it's a different custom territory, it will work better. This place will have first-class infrastructure. We will get generous incentives from all the governments, And you will see what we have done. We have gotten all the governments involved in the project. They are all invested in the project. We will do manufacturing transfers locally and internationally into this place. And it will be a partnership of governments and private sector, but private sector owns it. Private sector will conceive it, private sector will finance it, private sector will run it. Because if you don't bring government in, because we want to create a papa city in Rome, it's not going to work. Let me just run through this. See what I have said. If you look at this place now, the star is the city. Now, you see across river, Akwa Ibom. If you build this road, the one in pink, right, through the city to Imo, Obinze in Owerri, we have finished the road, we have finished the design of the road that is 86 kilometers to Obinze in Owerri. You have connected the whole southeast. The first line is 50 kilometers radius from the city. The second line is 100 kilometers. The third line is 150 kilometers. You are even getting to almost to Delta. That's the reason. Now, I will tell you about these roads. Initially, we started trying to get the A3 from federal government. And that process continued for the last 2 years. We got all the governors of the Southeast to sign this and that the federal government should give us the road. But what happened, federal government said, okay, you can do a proposal and bid unsolicited, give us an unsolicited bid on the road, A3. We assembled the consortium, but sometime this year, federal government selected the road out among the 10 roads that they will do concessioning on. And we are bidding for the road. We have done traffic study on the road. We have spent a lot of money on the road before that came. So we have information on that road more than anybody. We think we have probably more than 80% chance to get the road on concession. So that's what we're doing on that. The Azumini Obinze road, in fact, the financing, it's in the first phase financing of what we are doing on the distance, and we have term sheet for that now. Go on. Now, this is the whole city. This city has 5 industrial townships. The first one, the second industrial township is dedicated to chemicals, oil and gas, and petrochemicals, because it's by Owaza. It's about 4 kilometers, active pipelines into this place. It's more than 1,000-something hectares of land. The third industrial township and the fourth industrial township. Then here is the problem of Ndigbo, if we don't know. This is logistics. That is 755 hectares of land, logistics. The black one is an inland port. It's a full origin and destination inland port. What that means is that goods will be cleared here, goods will leave here to anywhere it's going. And what has happened, if you look at this logistics, 755 hectares of land, it is huge. It's on the rail. It's on the rail. And you will see what we have done with that rail. And that rail that goes from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri. Then we have entertainment, 291 hectares of land. Why in a country of 200 million people, we don't have a destination? We should have our own Disney. We have a theme park, we have amusement park, we have all the things, gambling, sports, and everything, where people can come. Because what has happened in this place is that you have a place like Aba, it's like 20 minutes. You have Port Harcourt, it's like 30 minutes. Or where on this road will be like 30 minutes. Akwa Ibom. So you have to draw population into this place. You bring something that people want every time, weekends and all that. So we have it, we tell you what we have done about those things. It's not just talking. The blue line is a health city. And we are working on that with our brothers in America. In fact, they have started before we combine. We have availability of 50 top doctors. I'm talking about people in Johns Hopkins, Cleveland, Yale, and all that. Top, most of them. So we have 50 availability, and we're working on that with them. It's going very well too. Then the one below is education. We have a license for private university now. We have a polytechnic. We have a vocational training. And that vocational training we're doing with ITE, Singapore, on that. Now, Choke is talking about technology as our, manpower, human capital as our greatest export. That's what India has done. IIT in India, in fact, runs the tech industry of the world. Google, it must have been IIT graduate. So we can do this here, and we will do it. We will do it. We are doing a lot already on what we are doing. The red listen is the CBD, the Central Business District. We're looking at financial center. We're working on that, but the laws are strong, but it's going on well too in its own. Now, that's a golf course, 2 golf courses. That's the main residential township. But you have pockets of residential in any of all these other uses. Then the last one here is an airport. It's an international airport. So that's the uses we have in these places. In this place, gone. So that's the land use. So half of this place is devoted to manufacturing. The industrial township is almost half of the distance. Logistics is 755. Health, knowledge and innovation, residential township, the CBD, and so on. Go on. Now, we say that we must connect this place to national and regional and global value chain. You know, what we have done is that this rail here has a rail siding at Elelewon, and that rail siding, they were using it to take oil from Eleme to distribute the whole of Nigeria. Now, we are going to build 12-kilometer rail into One. We started that with Nigerian Railway, MPA, and the Shippers Council. The thing is going on very, very well. Until 13th of October, if I'm quite correct, CCECC took a concession of the rail itself from federal government on concession to, the narrow gauge. And they're going to build that rail into Bonny on deep water port they're going to build in Bonny. But we have, since this is our partnership now, Obika will tell the story about that, because they had to stop the work they are doing on the study of taking the DC, because CCCC has said they're going to build that, and they're going to start early next year to build that. So once we do that, we have connected this place to anywhere, everywhere in Nigeria. We'll get raw materials from the north, because this rail goes to the north and it turns at Kavanchan to Lagos. We have connected what we are doing here to Lagos. So that's that. Go on. 3, this place will have its own municipality. You see, the regulations for this place has gone through NEPSA and is gone through the Federal Ministry of Justice. It's been gazetted. We are a different country from Nigeria, as it were. Anything we are doing here, if it comes out from here into Nigeria, it's a different custom territory. We have our own immigration, a different regime on immigration and custom, police and security, building regulations. We do all the approvals in the dispute resolution. We have a resolution arbitration center of UK in the place, banking and finance, everything, corruption standard. So we need this to run this place almost like a new Nigeria. Go on. Okay. World-class infrastructure. ProSonergy has built 187 hectares, megawatt of power in Aba, IPP. And this had a problem for some time. But now the problem is resolved at the back of this project, because the financing to get it working is at the back of this project, because we're taking first 90 megawatt of power to start in this place. But we have a license to build 540 megawatts, we call Oma plants, just at the boundary of this city. And everything about it is going on well too. So it is going to have first-class infrastructure. We're talking about power, 24 hours, water, waste, sewage, communication. The smart city program is being done by CWG and Hitachi of Japan. everything that is going on well too. Go on. Generous incentives. These are the things the federal government has given to us. Anybody that is coming to this place to do business has has all this. You don't pay tax here, duty free for the goods you want to produce in this place, and so on. I can send all this to so I don't waste too much time. We're going to do manufacturing transfers from this place locally already. The team is already in the field now, where the company is already existing in Nigeria, because where you can manufacture, you're not using generator. Where you can get your goods in very easily, where you can do that, we will transfer many existing companies in Nigeria into this place. And foreign companies, we have a company that wants to turn gas into methanol. They're doing about 200 hectares back. We have another one, Rui, they're doing about 300 hectares too in the distance. Many of them are coming. We have about 6-7 anchors now that we are going to start this place with. Gone. Now, like I said, this is a project of federal government, the private sector, and state governments. The private sector has 20%, the federal government has 20%, the state government has 6%. The community, in addition to compensations and all the other things, they have equity in the project. But the agreement with federal government and state government is that they're not going to come, into the project in management form or this thing. So if you look at what you see here, the project is 50% subscribed. The other 50% will do an IPO probably about 5 years when we start. Go on. This is the first phase of the project. This is where we are now. We have the financing for this. We're doing the term sheet for the financing. We're doing the due diligence on that, the closure process. Chioke will understand that. That's what we're doing on this now. So the progress is essentially all the things I've said. The project is fully conceptualized. First phase is fully designed and shovel ready. We have a free zone line, special economic zone license under the federal government mine, made in Nigeria for export program. We have certificate of occupancy for the land. We have the free trade zone license by federal government. We have full origin and destination ports in this place. The only one Nigerian government has done by declaration. All the other ones they do by concession. We have approval to jointly connect that inland port to a port. The city regulation has been approved. We have done definitive agreements with the two governments. We have signed, agreement with Afri-Exim. Afri-Exim is the mandated lead arranger for the project, and we have a term sheet for the financing of the first phase. ADB, co-financier, they are co-financing this, and IFC is doing advisory, manufacturing transfers from around the world on this. Then we have done agreement with Professor Geographic for the first 94 megawatt of power, and the OMA this thing. Then we have assembled a consortium for that external fence infrastructure that includes Interstol in South Africa and Dr. Bika company in UK, CCECC, Afri-Exim, ADB, and so on. Like I said, we have term sheets for the debt financing of the first phase of the project from Afri-Exim Bank last October 15, and the financing closure process is ongoing. Go on. Okay, these are, all the members of the team. Go on. Yeah, I think essentially that's where we are. We have a video, an aspirational video. It's long. I don't think it's listening to play that now. So that's I think Ben.
Yeah. Thank you, Dalu. Thank you so much. My vision and the vision that is expressed by Enyimba is a modest man. And while that he has poured literally millions of dollars of his own personal wealth into this program, but it's not just about economics and so on. it is going to, he didn't mention about the number, hundreds of thousands of jobs that this will create for Igbo. Many students, young people, men and women, we really thank him because there are certain things that one does not for economic gains. Almost in life, you want to leave something behind. And that's something that he always tells me, that he wants to leave something behind for the future. Is no longer for, because he can sit back and live on his wealth for the rest of his life, but he's doing it for Igbo. And this is what is going to make a difference. This is, as Choke said, we need to be investing in Alaigbo, Kakurono. This is really a corona. This is the sort of thing that will transform Alaigbo. And if you look at it in the context of the rest of our travel all over Africa, I work on many projects, I can actually say that this sort of project is transformational and is one of the largest projects in sub-Saharan Africa in terms of its size and content and so on. But the really important thing is in the program is actually going. It has financing almost closed in terms of the term sheets are there for phase one. Land tenants are there. So the infrastructure is being rolled out. So it's actually a reality. It's no longer just something that is on paper. So Dal, thank you very much, Dal. So I'd like to, with that, I would like now to open, we'll have a brief period for comments and discussions on the room. Now, what I will ask you to do, if you have any questions, please type it, and then I will pick up the questions from the table for answer. Please bear in mind the questions will be either for Professor Obu, for Ikechioke, or Dalozo. Please let me have your questions and discussions and comments.